Hi, my name is Esat. Welcome again. There is a very, very important question the whole world asking, and I've got the right answer for it. As long as you have enough time to listen to me, please keep listening. In few minutes, you're not gonna be able to believe what you're gonna hear, and that's gonna satisfy your heart and your mind. It's gonna keep it at ease, and you're gonna be very happy after you hear what you're gonna hear. That why, if God does exist, why does He allow all these negatives in life to happen? Like cancer, earthquakes, floods, children dying at young age. Is that a good question? Yes, it is. Now, I'm gonna try to explain why there is a lot of positive reasons behind it, and you're not gonna believe what you're gonna hear. If there is darkness, if there was no darkness, you would not know the value of light. If there was no pain, you wouldn't know the value of pleasure. Because of sicknesses, you would know the value of health. Because of death, you know the value of life. So all the negatives there for positive reasons, but sometimes we don't understand the value of the things that we have in our lives, so we forget, and then we take them for granted. Then God creates some negatives in our lives so we can realize what we've got is something very nice and beautiful. So we can show appreciation, be thankful, and be happy about it. That's one reason. The second reason, see, God has 7 heavens, and the highest one is Firdaus. So to reach the higher level, some of them Naim, some Jannat al-Ma'wa. There is a paradise called Ma'wa, and Naim, and others. Now, it depends how much you go through hardships and problems. Like the prophets are the most who suffers the most, because they have an amazing capacity, in patience and forgiveness, in kindness, in generosity. And then God puts them through hardships and problems, and they elevate their nature. And then God becomes very pleased with their patience and with their performance. It's like, you make 4-wheel drive, and you take this to try it in the river, in the sea, you take it to the rocks, you take it to the desert, you take it to the mountains. Then it comes out of all this hardship successfully. And it makes you feel very proud. So God puts us through hardships and problems, like when you put the seed, you sow the seed inside the earth. It seems like it's gone forever, and then the rain and the cold and the heat and the mud and the snow. It seems like, what a shame, what's happening to this seed? But see, all that hardships and problems that the seed facing and going through that chemical reaction, actually it's good for it, so it can expand its capacity and have a shoot, then become a tree and bear fruit. So being seed is not very important, but being tree and bearing fruit, it's much, much more important. So our characters in this life, they are like seeds. So when you see sometimes people haven't been in life a lot and they haven't suffered a lot, you see them, the smallest thing that happened to them, negative, that makes them very unhappy and they want to kill themselves. So God puts us through hardships and problems to develop our nature and to make us aware of the good quality of things that what we have to appreciate, and to make us happy. Also, another important thing is to elevate us in heaven, because depends on your good point in life and the hardships you face and your success in life, being a good person, being patient, being forgiving, being wise, and elevating your character through hardships and experiences in life, that it elevates you into higher level of paradises, so different paradises in there. So that's another important thing. Sometimes it's a prosecution from God to wake us up. It's like you hurt somebody else in life, what goes round comes round. God is very just. So then he afflicts some pain and suffering in your life in order for you to understand how other people feel when you inflict pain in their lives. So God does not want us to afflict pain. He wants us to be kind people like Him. He wants us to be generous like Him. He wants us to be loving and caring like Him. Look, He made the whole face of the earth like a table. He made the spring like a bunch of flower, and He made all this beauty, spread it all around face of the earth for us. And He equipped us with all these senses and devices so we can enjoy all this beauty, all this beautiful sound, beautiful fragrance, and taste a lot of beautiful things so we can be thankful to Him. Coming to the children, one day this lady approached me saying that she's a nurse and she sees all these sick people suffering and some of them dying at young age. She said, what would you say about that? So why would God allow that? So God is very, very just. He gives us opportunity. Before we come to this life, God gives us, He says, I offered this responsibility of being human beings to the heavens and the earth. He said they did not accept this great responsibility, but the human beings has chosen this and accepted this. So for that purpose, that the children who come to this life before 15 years old, they go straight to heaven and to the highest level of heaven, into Firdaus, no question asked. Because according to the Quran, the Muslim religion, a Muslim book, it says, that God only holds you responsible according to your capacity. So if you are unintelligent person, like, they call them as mentally ill person, like you're not a normal human being, then you are not responsible. Or if you've never heard the religion in your life, again you're not responsible. Or if you're a child after 15, you don't understand what is good, what's bad, to believe or not to believe. Again, then you are not responsible. You go straight to heaven. But for people who reach after 15 years old, then they are responsible, because life is a test. And in this test, life is a test. In this test, you need to be able to be tested in life through hardships and problems and experiences, through wealth, through being poor, through being all different type of things in life. So because of that we have 50-50 chance of going to hell or going to heaven. So I asked the lady, she was really very angry with God, and she was very angry with me saying that God does exist. And when I explained to her, I said to her, lady, please listen to this. I said, if you were 100% sure there is heaven and those children are going straight to heaven, no question asked. If they had reached 15 years old, they had 50-50 chance. Either they could go to hell or they could go to heaven. Now, I said, if God gave you an opportunity before you came to this life, would you like to be a child and suffer for a couple of years with sicknesses or other things, but at the same time that you're going to gain eternal happiness forever with your mother and father in the future? I said, would you choose that, or would you like to come and have 50-50 chance? And she said to me, honestly, as long as that there is eternal life and those children going to heaven, it's okay to suffer for a couple of years, but after that you are going to be rewarded forever. So this is something very beautiful. It's nothing negative, because God is very just. Everyone putting in, even the animals, a little bit tested for that purpose. They're not supposed to eat other animals. Even they suffer a little bit here and there. So God is very just. So He puts us through hardships and problems to develop our nature. So when, it depends how much, you go through hardships and experience in life, how good person you are, how forgiving you are, how kind you are, how generous you are, you go and reach higher level in heaven. So that's why it's very important. See, the children just came now, and I have to finish with it. And this is very beautiful children. Thank you.